What's going on? Crazy Russian 86 sorry. But look at this. I really like this shit. That's something I agree. No justice in the racist system, no peace in the police state. You know, something I have in common with black people is that I don't like the police. I really hate the police. They're giving tickets. They're getting people in trouble for no reason. You know, but anyway, guys, just making another video because I have nothing to do and I'm about to leave New York very soon, which I'm kind of happy about because I'm feeling a little out of place, but at the same time it's like, it's not bad in here. Like I said, it's pretty chill. It's not really horrible, so, but it just, you know, hopefully I'm gonna get lucky and get a job, but we'll see. I don't know sometimes about it because of this fucked up people around me that are so fucking stupid, taking my freedoms away from me. Second Amendment, God, guns and gods, made America free. Let's keep all of this. Wow. I'm surprised somebody is driving a car like this. Because in this area there is no white people. Only Jews and blacks. And I don't consider Jews white. I consider them half-bred Middle Eastern race. Because white people, the only Europeans. Now, this goes to the point of my video. Here is a Hasidic Jewish community in here, which, you know, I have mixed feelings about. Like, there are pros and cons. So, I'm probably gonna start with pros. People are very nice, they're very honest, you know, Hasidic Jewish people. That's pro number one. Number two, and this has pro and con in itself, okay? When it comes to marriage. Of course, Hasidic Jewish people, just like Christians, they believe in no sex before marriage bullshit, which has pros and cons. The pros are, once you marry, there's gonna be sex, no bullshit. It's gonna be like no games, no nothing. You know, those kind of stupid bitches do. You know, there's not gonna be none of that. You just have to marry the girl, and then everything gonna be just like that. No games, no bullshit. She's gonna do what you want her to do. You know, but you know, which is a plus. But the minus is, you have to get married first, which is, I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's like, you know, it's like kind of slavery in a way. You know, you have to like, I just feel like it has to be the other way around, but I would say it's still bigger plus than minus either way. It's still big plus and little minus. So, because really, less headache, you just can just live in a straight line, you know. So to me it's actually more of a plus than a minus, really. But what are the pluses? Not that much aggression, you know. People are nice. They love all the other Jews. They have this mentality the Jews should love other Jews no matter what. You know, so that's kind of a nice thing. You know, it's people not aggressive. And some people say, oh, you know, you're gonna go to live with the Jews, you can deal with people who have problems. I didn't have that feeling. I felt like in this community, I may not fit in 100%, but I felt like I wouldn't have problem with all of these people. Well, that's just how I feel. I feel like these people are a little bit close-minded and I don't agree with everything they think, but at the same time I really don't have really problem with them. Like, they don't make me feel like, oh, I hate them, even though, you know, like, I don't really have this vibe. Like, I feel like I can live here just fine, people don't really bother me, they're pretty nice. The only reason why I'm leaving, because it's like, with the jobs, it's just like, really hard, because, you know, those people close-minded, they're not giving me the level of freedom I want in order to do the job how I want to do it. They're just like trying to give me shit, you know. That's just how I feel, you know. Because like I have my own ideas, I cannot live by them, I feel like. Because, you know, since the people, they're not as open-minded, I would like them to be. They're just like, you know, pretty, and sometimes it's not really good. They say, oh, because there's something wrong with you, like sexual. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I can do things, leave me alone and let me do what I can, and that's it. So I feel like in Columbus before, back in the day, I used to have that privilege. And people say, oh, people didn't like what I was doing. I don't care about what people fucking like or not. I don't do what I want, act how I want, give me what I want, and that's it. If not, you piece of shit. Of course, now I have to kiss up to people, not talk to them. But if I would have big and strong, if people don't give me what I want, they would be dead. And that would be the way of life, the way of a meal. But unfortunately, society doesn't give me that type of privilege, which is fucked up. Because you know what, like to me, you know, like me, I like everybody to be like me, not like, oh, there's something wrong with you. No, I be free. Like to me, if I cannot be a dictator, if I cannot make people bow to my will, there's only one option, being a hermit. There's nothing in between. Either hermit or dictator. That's the only way I can live. No other ways. That's it, you know. Either hermit or dictator. That's it. So if I cannot be a dictator, I need to be a hermit, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with isolating myself from the society. And I'm actually happy about it, because that's core of my beliefs, the true beliefs. The isolation is a key to peaceful existence. Because you cannot coexist with people who don't think like you, and you cannot coexist with people who tell you, hey, you need to think certain ways, act certain way, you have to be part of the group. You know, I believe that people should have their own rights, they should have their own mentality, and they should have their way of life, you know, like American way. Like, you know, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So you can have a right to be different, but still people should tolerate you and give you what you want. And that's the only way to happiness, you know. So here it's a little bit challenging, because people still want you to be certain way and think certain way. Even though people are nice, but they still like want you, you know, be some type of way, interact certain way. So, but they're nice about it. Like if you're different, they're not gonna, you know, you're just not gonna fit in. But really, these people not big, not strong, but you know, like some other people, like bullies, they would be like, you know, they would just try, oh, you know, you ta-ta-ta, and start fighting with people, being aggressive. But see me, I'm not the type of person. I'm a mellow. See? Because I'm only 30% Russian. But when I tell it to people, they don't like it. They're like, no, you're Jew because you're halachically Jewish. But I'm sorry, there's genetics. It's not just by halacha. And this comes to the point where I'm going to talk about things which I just cannot agree. I'm sorry. I just cannot agree with it. It just doesn't make sense for me to agree. One of the things that how they look at Judaism, how they look at Jewish people. They say, if you're halachically Jewish, which means that you're Jewish on your maternal side, it means you're a Jew, right? So that means that, let's say, your grandfather or your mother's side is Jewish, right? And everybody else in your family is Goyim or non-Jews, you're still a Jew, right? Now, I know some people who are galactically Jewish, who don't know anything about Judaism, and they don't care about it. And, you know, if I ask them, they say I'm not a Jew. And I know some people who have non-Jewish mothers, who have Jewish fathers, they speak Hebrew, they live in Israel, you know, and etc., etc. And I know some people who were not halakhically Jewish, but they were like in Russia and they have some Jewish in them because of their fathers, right? But then in Russia, people were still treating like they're Jewish. They still didn't accept them as Russian. So it's like, think about it this way, right? Like, really, this is just not the right way to go about it, because, you know, you are who you are based on everything you are. So I feel like, you know, I kind of agree more with Adolf Hitler about it, because you have to take account of everything. Every little drop of blood in you, genetically, you have to take into the account, you know? Like, if it would be up to me, you would be a Jew if your dominant blood is Jewish. That's how it's supposed to be. You're a Jew if your dominant blood is Jewish. So percentage of your Jewish blood should be higher than percentage of your Goyish blood. And it doesn't matter what side it is. But we need to distinguish it. Meaning, like, If you're 100% Jewish, you're like super Jew. If you're like 50%, not so much. No, but if your dominant blood is Goyish and Jewish blood is lesser, then you're not a Jew. I think that Galacha should be like this. But this is my personal opinion, you know. That's just my personal opinion. I just disagree with that law. And I have my reasons for it, because it just doesn't work, you know. Like some people can be galactically Jewish and they can say, I don't care, I'm not a Jew. And they say, oh, you should be because you have grandmother of your mother's side. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, you know. Like, you just can't think like that. It just doesn't work. It's just my personal opinion based on people I know, even though I don't really socialize with people, but they just, you know, what I think. And you can say, oh, there's something wrong with you. You have no right to think. Well, if you think that way, then that's all I'm gonna tell you. Because I don't give a fuck, you know. What I care about, I wanna live how I want. If I get it, good. If not, it means that you piece of shit, and I'm gonna punish you if you're not gonna give me what I want. And don't ask me no fucking questions, you piece of shit. I don't give a fuck. That's all I can say, you know. But anyway, what I think. And then, you know, like I said, people telling you how you need to be, how you need to act, and they're just not right, you know. You should have freedoms. Even though it's maybe not right, but who says what's right? Sometimes it's not right because of what? Because I may have consequences. What if I want to fucking kill myself? What if I want to live in this fucked up world? What if this world is not for me? Then if I'm gonna go out there, kill somebody and get killed, hey, I'm just pretty much gonna exit out of this pathetic existence. I mean, I don't like pain, I'm afraid of it, I just want to enjoy my life, but at the same time, you know, it does make sense, you know. And of course, this religion kind of condemns suicide, which I'm not a big fan of that too, but you know, like, sometimes I'm thinking that, you know, if society not gonna let me live how I want, I don't see any other way, you know. Because I'm not kissing up to people, you know. Especially all those fucking infidels who taking my freedoms away from me. And they tell me, oh, you child, you shouldn't live like this. I don't give a fuck, you know. I don't care. You know. I don't fucking care. If everything I do, it hurts other people. All I care about is getting what I want at any cost. And I don't give a fuck about nothing else, okay? I don't care if whatever I do hurts other people. I have no regard for it, really. But I wish it wouldn't hurt other people. That's why I'm saying, you know, if everybody would be the same, we would be living in a better place. Because that way everybody would get along and we would be singing and dancing, have a good time. But because people are different, that's why we have issues, you know. But at the same time, you know, we have to be civilized, so we just have to, like, accept loneliness. We have to accept, you know, the fact that we cannot get along with each other. Not everything works out well. And instead of, like, you know, cussing people out because they don't do what you want, which is, you know, in my opinion, is a sensible thing to do, you have to just let people go. They think that you're weird, they want nothing to do with you, let them go. That's it. That's like freedom. It's not my definition of freedom, but it's actually, this is freedom, unfortunately, you know. But it's like, that's why this world is so freaking horrible, because you cannot get your way in this world because of other people. You know, all of this bullshit. So, it is what it is. But, coming back to the topic, let me think now. What are other positive sides? Other positive sides is that, you know, like, as people are really spiritual, you know, it's like, you study really good stuff, you know, which applies in real life. It makes you think, like, you know, like, for example, today I got reinformed that the purpose of studying is not to get a grade, but to be a good specialist, you know. And I'm looking back and I'm thinking, like, damn, if I was in my early 20s and I would go to yeshiva to study that stuff, I would have a different idea. Because before I was thinking, you know what, why do I go to school? To get a grade. If I'm gonna get a grade, I'm gonna get a job. If I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna get money. And if I have a shitty professor who doesn't teach me anything, I don't care, it's on him. Because I know that if I'm gonna get a grade, I'm gonna get a job, right? That's just what I was thinking. And it's not the right mentality, because it's all about knowledge. It's all about like being a good professional, so you're gonna help out other people. But see, I was never thinking like this. Before, I was always thinking, you know what, I just want to get a job, I want to get money, so I can be free, so I can isolate myself from people, so I can do whatever I want, you know, which is really not why you should go to college. If I would knew what I know now, I would think twice. If I would knew, like, you know, that you need to like have an accounting degree, you have to know how to deal with people, this and that, right? If I knew that when I was younger, I probably would just say, you know what, I'm not going to school. I would just like, I don't know, maybe I'll go to the factory or do something where I can just, you know, get the money and be left alone. Or I don't know, do something, you know, like, I don't even know what I like to do really. But I would definitely, you know, I wish I would have the right type of mentality where I'm like, you know what, it's all about like not getting things, not getting grades, not like, oh, let me get what I want and I don't care. And people used to tell me that back in Russia, but you know, I didn't listen to it. But now I understand it. You know what? It's a good mentality. You know, it's a good mentality. Then you think that, you know what, I want to study because I want to be better at something. And if I don't, it's on me. But you know, that's a very important lesson. So it's a really important lesson. Alright guys, probably gonna make another video